Welcome to the Next Chapter podcast. If you are a professional or an entrepreneur that's ready to dive headfirst into your next chapter of business success and create a kick-ass freaking life, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Rob Murgatroyd, and I'll be bringing you some game-changing insights, great interviews, and real-life transformations of people who have made a leap into their next chapter. Strap in and let's get this party started. Well, hello there from beautiful Florence. All right, today I want to take you on a walk and I want to talk with you about expanding your business into additional locations, hiring more associates, and things to think about if you happen to fall into that category. So this content is coming from something that I learned at Tony Robbins' Business Mastery events, which I highly recommend doing. And it's one of the principles that I took away with in my professional career, and it's something that I coach my clients on who are trying to scale their business, grow their business, etc. I want you to think about three categories. Category one is the artist. Category two is the entrepreneur. And category three is the manager. So I want you to think first, which one of those three, as I said them, do you think that you are mostly in as far as your personality is concerned? I know probably all of you would consider yourself an entrepreneur, and probably all of you would say, well, I'm also a manager in some ways too. But like, what is your dominant natural inclination, or where is your dominant natural inclination towards? For me, as much as I'd like to say entrepreneur, it's really not where my dominant inclination is. I'm much more of a manager. I get really excited when I talk about systems. I know, it's weird, but I do. I get excited on structure, architecting, checklists, procedures. So I would consider myself more of a manager than anything else. But I want you to first ask yourself, which one are you? So let me give you some more definitions as you're thinking about them, just to make sure that we're clear. So the manager I just described, the artist doesn't necessarily have to be an actual artist, but it's somebody who really, really values the work that they've done. And as a chiropractor, I never really looked at it. Some chiropractors do. I just didn't. I never really looked at what I did as artistry, right? And then you've got the entrepreneur. And the entrepreneur, I knew a lot of chiropractors who considered themselves entrepreneurs. Their focus was not on the manager. They just hired one. It was not on artistry. It was just not in their wheelhouse to care. But what they did care about was the bottom line. Is the company growing? Are we making more profit? And that's where they care. Okay. There's no right or wrong to any of these. It's just having the self-awareness and the level of honesty about where it is that you personally are. Let's use the example, for the sake of this podcast, as an entrepreneur, because I think a lot of people listening would consider themselves an entrepreneur. It doesn't really matter, because you could just apply the principle however you like. So if you're an entrepreneur and you say, hey, this business is going really, really well. Got a lot of people coming to me. I'm a doctor, a lawyer, a candlestick maker, whatever. And I want to grow it. I want to open a few more of these, and I want them to be profitable. So I'm going to do that. Well, it seems like a very logical thing to do as an entrepreneur, right? So you open the second location. The challenge is what got you to the success of the first operation is not going to get you to the success of the second, because you can't physically be in two places at once, right? And even if you're expanding your current location, you have a whole new set of issues let's use the example of a lawyer that's hiring, 10 more lawyers. Your skill set now changes. So what does that skill set require now that you're trying to expand? In many cases, it will require somebody who is a manager. So making sure that as an entrepreneur, if your primary skill set is not naturally inclined to checklist procedures, systems, operations, etc., then make sure that as part of your expansion plan that you have somebody in place who is. Also, as you expand, part of the reason why anybody comes to you is because the work that you do is good. Well, good work is artistry, right? So if you're the entrepreneur and you're considered the bottom line, then whoever you have who's in the innovation portion of this expansion should be an artist. Like I'm sitting here in Florence now and I'm looking across at Prada. Well, Prada clearly has somebody who's an artistic director who's focusing on creating this crazy outfit that I'm looking at. That's the artist. You don't want that artist managing systems. You don't want that artist being the entrepreneur because they're going to spend all the money on the artistry because that's where their heart is. But you need it because nobody's coming to Prada if that wasn't there. If it was just efficient, nobody would be there. And, the last one, which is the one that I started with, the manager, like somebody has got to keep these trains running on time. And I think even countries are like this. Like Italy is an absolute shit show. There's no management here. Bureaucracy is a fucking disaster. But the artistry is really high. The food is amazing. The clothes are incredible. The zest for life, la dolce vita, the art of living. This is all like artistry. Entrepreneurship? Nope, not here. They're just not here. So they're all about artistry. If you flip it and you go to Germany, systems, organization. That's why the cars are, the way they are. The cars the Italians make are beautiful, the Ferraris. A friend of mine just bought one and it's been in the shop more than it's been on the road, right? You get the point. You got to make sure that you have all of them. So as you're considering your expansion and your growth, consider the artist, the manager, and the entrepreneur in your plans. That's it. So if you are someone that feels that you can benefit and wants to work with me to hash out some ideas like this, maybe you're trying to get your work-life balance on point. I get it. It's not easy, right? You have the demands of your business. I have people who fill out my coaching application all the time. And it's really interesting to see, on a scale of 1 to 10, they will rank certain areas of their life very, very high, and other areas of their life are very, very low. And getting clarity on those areas like fun, hobbies, relationship, romance, things like that, getting clear on what the vision for those things look like, and having a person to regularly check in with you to say, hey, you ranked your romance at 2. What's going on there? You just don't even see it because you're busy running your business. You're busy building your empire. You're busy putting fires out. And you just kind of think, I know I need a date night, or, I know I need to connect with my kids more, but there's nobody taking the time to create milestones and goals to check in with. So all of that is to say that if you're looking for someone to help you to get your work-life balance on point, reach out to me. I'm doing, for podcast listeners, a 30-minute free discovery call to see if we're a fit. Click the link in the show notes and schedule a call. Ciao from Florence. Bye. Look, I've been there, craving something different as a professional. Maybe you want to level up your business. Maybe you love what you do, but you need some time freedom. Or maybe you're ready to say goodbye to it all and dive into a totally new world of business. Either way, I've got you covered. My coaching programs will help you reverse engineer a plan that will help you take the next step in creating the success and life you've always dreamed of. In the show notes, you'll see a link for a one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching. Just hit up one of those links in the show notes and we'll jump on a free discovery call.